Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. I've got this little bike along one of these back roads, though it's a fairly nice little area. We're going to go down along this road. I'll run the camera. You'll see some nice little bits of scenery along here. And the other thing we'll talk about is what's Honda doing about this bike and its distribution to different parts of the world. So we'll talk about that side of it too. But in the meantime, there's a profile of the bike. It's really got its head poked there into the scrub, but there's a good reason for that. It's a pretty popular bike and it doesn't like to be seen. So just in case you don't want to listen to me, you can always go mute, just enjoy the scenery. And when we get down further, there's a run of tight bends, and we'll go for a run through those too while we're at it and just see how that goes. So apart from that, hope you enjoy this part of the clip. All systems go. Like I said, this is a really nice little road to go along. I've had subs inquire from the UK and Canada about, it doesn't look like the bike's coming their way, or it doesn't at this stage. Yes, I was thinking about that a little bit. They're in Australia now, but they're just coming in dribs and drabs. So when you look at it that way, just say if you're in a country like the UK or Canada and they're not coming in, or they're supposedly not coming in at all, some of the guys that live there sort of put a petition to Honda in Japan and say, why don't we get the bikes? Now, if that was the case and they put a petition together, I see no reason why they couldn't submit their petition details to my side here, and in doing so I could relay the information onto other guys here on this site who tune in and have a look at the channel. We could all sign that petition to try to get those guys in the UK and in Canada the chance to get one of these great little bikes too. So I think that'd be a good idea. And in the area I'm thinking of, sometimes I put up a subscribe area where I run it for 10 seconds, to subscribe. Well, I won't even bother putting that there on my channel, and I'll put someone else's link there to help somebody in the UK or example Canada. And it might help long term getting these bikes to all parts of the world, just compared to just a few people. So that was one thing I was just giving it a bit of thought, and it might be helpful in that one. And I think if we all got together and signed a flat out petition to those countries, Honda might take notice and think, oh yeah, there's a good outlet for a good dollar for us, because I really think this bike is just geared about $1, and I think that's all Honda's interested in, the money. So if they think they can get money in those countries, it might give those guys a chance to get hold of the bike. So if we look at it that way, it could be a plus. The most important one at the moment would be to get everyone in all the countries the chance to be able to get on and ride this great little bike. And I think if we get them to put up a couple of links here, or I'll put up a couple of links if they submit them, and then anyone that clicks on, we'll go from there, because at the moment I've got plans to put up maybe at least I've got plans for another 10 or 15 videos at least. So looking at it that way, I've already got these clips already lined out, so there's no shortage. We'll have plenty to look at in that line, so I'll be able to put those up in each clip. Quite a few people will see it, and hopefully quite a few people will sign the petition, and quite a few people in those countries will eventually get their bike. So I hope you think that's a good idea, not boring, still listening, and I hope also you enjoy this great little ride down here, because there's quite a few bends on this road. But I noticed today a bit windier than normal, and it is throwing the bike around a little bit more, because the bike doesn't like wind all that much. Especially crosswind, but we can bring her down around here and rev her out a bit. But there are some sharp corners down along here, but it is a little bit loose in the gravel too. You might notice it a fair bit. Yeah, so it's not really a, I was going to give it a bit of a workout down here, but I haven't been down there for years, and there's a lot of gravel on the road now, which is a pity. But I hope on the off chance you enjoy this little bit of a spin around here, and some bad potholes on it too. So it gives you an idea how this great little bike runs along. We're over out in third gear, take it out now. Almost 80 k's. Then you come up to another one. Then you can just go hard on the brakes, spin her around. Look at that. Another big sharpie here. I've got heaps of riding places like this around here, but just a pity this has been resurfaced. I think we'll go down further and ride the dirt. So we're up here cruising now at 80 k's. Under the dirt. Now we're onto the dirt. Hardly notice you hit it. Look at that. Almost 50 mile an hour on the dirt just then. Bit loose now. I don't really 100% trust these tyres on dirt. They don't sort of run loose gravel as good as the tyres on the infield trials I've got. That, you know, you'll put up with them, but I've definitely got to have better tyres. So you do a bit of wobbling. Ah, let her rip. Using front ABS. Not really hard, but hard enough to slow me down. Let's head up this way. Come across these dirt roads. Like I said, never had you guys along this dirt road before. And you can pace along here pretty good. There's a kid magpie too, little baby. Look at that. Yeah, you can see these in these sharp corners. You can feel the back of this bike moving around on these tyres, and I definitely need better stuff on this loose stuff. Nice big vineyard on me right. Wasn't that long ago out here, once when this was totally in drought and totally dry. But now, nice and green. .50-50 knobby type tyre or tread pattern, but I'll wait till somebody gives some good advice on what they'd use as a tyre on this postman style bike. I bet you can put up some kilometres on one of these on a day, even though they're only a small 125cc cycle. Look at that. Coming up to this corner really sharp on the front brake. No slide out. Good. I don't know if you go, how you go if you did a real stupid big hit up front, you know, like you might find yourself in a bit of a problem, but on a reasonable grab, it seems to handle it pretty well. So I don't know if you can see it, but there is a real lot of loose gravel on this road. And sometimes it's a bit hard to pick how fast that bike is travelling along, because the camera's got pretty good image stabiliser, so it slows the effect down a bit. So we're working our way down to the creek. Once upon a time, this creek, what we're heading to, held good rainbow trout. That, like I said, this area's been in drought for a fair while. It'll have plenty of water in it now, but naturally, when the creek dried up with the drought, the trout dried up with it. But the country looks good. So I think overall you can run along this on a dirt road almost as quick as what you could on a big bike, and I feel a little bit more confident too. So this is where I'm planning on pulling up, right over near that windmill. Whoa, there was a rear wheel brake lock-up. Land of the bikes.